If you have an income, you can either spend it or save it. If you decide to spend all of your income, it's an expenditure for you and an income for the person who is getting your dollar. So even when you spend your money, you're still helping the economy. There is a circular flow for expenditures and income. Say you spend $1. That dollar will flow through the economy and exchange hands many times. Think of a ripple effect. Your one action can cause many reactions. Spending money is a great way to grow the economy, which is why the government sometimes tries to spend money. However, profit is still being made. When companies get more money, workers get a raise. When workers get a raise, they spend more. We can calculate the exact amount with MPC and MPS, which is the marginal propensity to consume and the marginal propensity to save.
The marginal propensity to save means people have a tendency to save a portion of each additional dollar they receive. The marginal propensity to consume means people have a tendency to consume a portion of each dollar they receive. Example: if I get an additional dollar, I may consume 90 cents and save 10 cents. My marginal propensity to consume that dollar is then 90%. My marginal propensity to save that dollar is then 10%. Another example: if I get an additional dollar, I may consume 80 cents and save 20 cents. That means my marginal propensity to consume is then 80%. That also means my marginal propensity to save is then 20%. Do you notice a pattern here? The pattern is MPC plus MPS equals 1, or 100%. Let's see how this works with our government. Assume the government wants to increase their spending by $10 billion. Assume that the MPC in the economy is 90% and the MPS is 10%. Remember, these must equal 100%. What is going to be the effect on the GDP when we consider the multiplier effect of each of those dollars? The government initially spends $10 billion in the economy to purchase goods and services. Does the government save any of this money? No, they spend all of it. What is the immediate effect of this transaction on the GDP? It increases it by $10 billion. According to John Maynard Keynes, he says that people in general will spend 90% of it and save 10%. So, when people spend 90% of $10 billion, how much is the GDP going to increase by? It's going to increase by $9 billion. With these initial two transactions, how much has the GDP increased by? Let's look at the math. 10 billion plus 9 billion equals 19 billion. Now, when the people who receive the 9 billion, they are going to spend 90% or 8.1 billion and save 10% or 900 million. GDP is now growing again. That means 10 billion plus 9 billion plus 8.1 billion equals 27.1 billion. It does not stop here. Each time the money is spent, it keeps reducing by the 90% and 10% ratio until it gets to zero, and the GDP is a much larger number. Since the number is so big, how do we calculate the math? Well, John Maynard Keynes came up with a simple formula to do the math for you. The Keynesian government spending multiplier is 1 over MPS. Let's say the MPC is 90% and the MPS is 10%. Let's plug in the numbers. 1 over MPS equals 1 over 10% equals 1 over 0.10 equals 10. So, what is this equation telling us? It is telling us that when the government spends $1 in the economy, it is going to purchase a multiple of 10 times itself in the GDP. If the government increases spending by 10 billion, then the eventual impact on the GDP is going to be an increase of, what is it? 10 billion times 10, 100 billion.